it's me. This is the Goofball Show.
Shoosy.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Goofball Show with myself and this animal. Hello, animal. Look at that lighting. Isn't that nice?
Oh, it's the best.
For the audio listeners.
They know I'm the best.
They know I'm the best. Welcome back to the Goofball Show. It's episode 3. Brett, I don't know how we did it, but we did it. We made it this far.
We did.
And some people are starting to understand it, and I know that we are still in the early stages of our show because the majority of the comments have been positive.
Yes.
It's been a nice show so far. I like this.
That worries me.
It doesn't worry me because, as I said, this to me is a show that I just want to do where we're just goofing around, having a good time. People that don't get it, then they don't get it. Yeah. People who get it, I've been answering every single
I've noticed that.
It's the most positive I've been about a YouTube comment section in a very long time. But I've gone to every single comment. I've responded to every single one. There's been lovely people in there. I encourage you all, if you are watching this show on YouTube, then to comment. But the other thing that people are understanding is that we cannot survive with this show without the podcast feed. We're taking a big risk. Tomorrow, this show airs on Thursday. So tomorrow, the debut of The Big Thing show will be on tomorrow. That'll be myself, Mark Ellis, and Steph Sabra. That will be on tomorrow from 10 o'clock to 11 a.m. That's going to be a new venue, but it's the same new venture, but it's the same thing. We want you guys to subscribe to the podcast feed. That one's going to be found on the SEN Live. You don't have to do anything new as far as a podcast, but this one, subscribe to this podcast feed. It is crucial. It is so helpful for you guys. So for us. So thank you so very much. A lot of things to talk about. So the first thing I wanted to tell you was I watched. We watched, as you saw in the title here, everybody, Loki. You watch any of the Loki yet?
I just remembered, driving over here that it's on.
That's good. So should I spoil the whole thing for you?
Yeah, well, but I know that Blake's excited to see it. That's cool.
I think I could spoil this show for you, and you still wouldn't know what the hell's going on.
Still not good.
No, I liked it a lot.
I saw the previews, and I definitely, the humor element of it, I'm excited about. And again, it's a kind of a side character.
But it's like what we were talking about. I think with episode 1. Was it episode 1 or last week? I can't remember. I think it was last week, but time travel and parallel universes and moving back and forth within them. And I was like, okay, we were just talking about this and how it works. And I said it when we were talking that I thought Endgame played with parallel universes in a way that when I read up about it, that's what I like. So they're taking this new approach with it, but they combine it with like a buddy cop. It's a detective story.
Yeah.
Owen Wilson's great in it.
I love him, and that was when I saw that, and I was like, oh, definitely, I'm going to watch this. This is definitely going to be something that I enjoy.
Yeah,
and I'm going to watch with my son.
You'll dig it because even for those people that have seen it. It takes place, if you watch Endgame, there's a spot when they go back in time during that time of when they capture Loki, but because of the things that get screwed up, he grabs the Tesseract and he takes off. I did have a question throughout it. I'm like, well, wait a minute, why? Because they're investigating, this is in the trailer anyway, but they're investigating Loki, the time travel police or whatever. It's like Time Cop, right? They're investigating Loki because he is not supposed to be out of that timeline. He screwed around and he messed with time and he's not supposed to. And I'm like, well, what happened with the Avengers? I'm like, the Avengers screwed up time. How they're not getting arrested?
Yeah.
And they bring that up, and it's like, yeah, but that was supposed to happen. And they're like, oh, okay, all right. So, but it was funny because I just asked that question and it made sense. But it's a really good show. It's entertaining, and it just it made me realize that you just can consistently have stuff to watch. But
it threw me off, though, because I saw when it dropped, and I'm like, wait, I thought these were all going to be like that Thursday, midnight, Friday kind of a thing.
Yeah, the Wednesday. Well, because I think they have Bad Batch coming out on Fridays for Star Wars.
I still haven't checked out. What do you think about that?
I like it.
You like it?
I like it. I'm not like over the moon about it yet because I talked about it on Sith Council, and I said that the issue I had with it initially before I saw it was like, is this going to be just like another kind of side missions of the Clone Wars, which I'll be interested in, I'll watch it, but I don't know how intrigued I'm going to be over. I have my camera.
We have a battery exhausting.
Yeah, we already? Did something happen? Something got unplugged?
It shouldn't be a battery.
I don't know. It might be a battery. It is.
Hey, look at that! I'm gonna go look at this.
Help me out. Help me out over here. You'll be able to hear me. You'll be able to hear me. So what would our show be? At least and a can is down. And a can is down.
I probably should have kept my headset on. I don't even know where this plugs
Well, look at your other one. Where does yours go? And then we'll take it from there. So this part, it would have been. The can is down again. Ladies and gentlemen, the can is down. It got back up. It got back up, and the can is down. We don't know where it went, but it's down. He's trying to get up. He can't do it.
I want everybody to see what's going on right there.
Let's see. Is it still off?
No, I think you're.
Oh, there we go. I'm back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now look at this.
You're running off battery power.
Yeah, but can you fix my focus?
Oh yeah.
Now? Look at this thing.
I'm gonna take up the head.
Why don't you just get out of here? Yeah, I'll talk to the audience. But as far as Bad Batch goes, there you go. You got it. Bad Batch. For me, I thought these other episodes of the Clone Wars and I didn't think it was going to tie in anything. But the first episode, it's like we're tying everything together, and it's like, wow, this is what the show is going to be. And it's evolved into kind of what I thought it was going to be, which is still fine. I'm invested in the characters. I care, but I'm not. It's not like must-watch TV. Like if I miss it on the day of, I'm like, okay, I'll catch up. It's fine. I'll watch it all, but it's not the same way that I was for like the other shows. And I don't know if that's just because The Mandalorian and Obi-Wan's coming out and those other shows. So
and I didn't know they haven't filmed season 3 yet, and they haven't even started.
That's what Pedro Pascal said, right? He was talking to Ewan McGregor, and he's like, yeah, we need to start filming it.
No, you have to.
Well, I mean, think about that. If you look at it from what they're doing, you got Boba Fett's coming out. They've shot that. That's done. That comes out in December, which is crazy. But yeah, if they want to get that show out, they're probably going to if they want to get it out, they probably start shooting soon.
Yeah.
Well, Obi-Wan started shooting, so Obi-Wan will probably come out first. Cassian will probably come out first, and then Mandalorian will probably be at the end of next year.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Very unhappy kids.
Yeah, you don't like it. Do you want to hear? So last night, I got desperate. Last night. So, I've got a 3.5-year-old. So every night, both these kids, the 3.5 and 9-year-old. My 9-year-old every night before it's adorable. But she's like, Dad, tell me a story before we go to bed, like about your childhood, about something that happened. She loves this. She loves the story. She loves the story about the time, but she always wants to hear like I've told this story many times over, but I'll tell it again. I went to see Bruno with my wife. Do you remember this story? You do remember the story? And my wife packs all these snacks, and she packs this massively huge sparkling water, and it's like berry flavored. Yeah. Right before the movie starts, twisting this thing, twisting it. Movie starts, I open it, and it sprays out like the fire hose in First Blood when Stallone gets shot, and it hits this poor bastard right in the face, and he goes, and I go, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, and I could smell the berry, right, and it's just like, and then the movie starts. I don't even pay attention to the movie. I'm watching the movie, and I'm thinking about him going, and I go, please, something funny happens. Something happens, the crowd laughs. I start crying laughing, but I'm not laughing because of the movie. No offense to Bruno. But to this guy, dripping of berry smell, and I feel terrible, but yet think it's the funniest thing ever. And I tell my daughter this story. She loves it. So that's the story she makes me tell her that, and another time, my wife and I, we went to this theater in Florida, and a lot of blue hairs. We go.
Oh yeah.
And we go, and we're sitting there, and my wife, who had just at the time wasn't my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time, but she has her shirt over her nose, and I'm like, "What's wrong?" She goes, "What? What are you saying?" She goes, "It stinks." I'm like losing it, and my daughter loves that story. So every night I'm trying to find out just more and more stories to tell her. So that's one thing. So last night the 3.5-year-old wants me to make up stories, and she wants stories about like flying, oranges and and apples and all this shit. And you got to make it up, and she starts making up with you, and she turns into Spielberg. She's like, no, that's not what happened. This is what happened. This has happened. This. So last night I actually got her to not interrupt at all. Do you want to hear the story I told her?
Give it to me.
One time there was a giant. He lived in a land, and he was one of the grandest giants of all time. And he had a friend, and the friend was the king of the land. His friend's name was Hulk Hogan. I said, and the giant and Hulk Hogan were very good friends. until one day the weasel got involved. And the weasel told the giant that he should be king. And the king was Hulk Hogan. And Hulk Hogan said, we'll always be friends, until one day the giant said, I want to be the king. And there was a big battle that was supposed to take place in front of thousands of people. And the giant came out and the crowd booed. How could you turn on Hulk Hogan? And then Hulk Hogan showed up. And then Hulk Hogan makes his way to fight the giant. And he goes to pick up and slam the giant because no one has ever done that before. But the giant falls on Hulk Hogan. And then the giant gets up and goes to headbutt. And then Hulk Hogan bounces out of the way, throws a leg, and he remains the king. And everyone yells and cheers. And then he became and stayed the king. And then he got caught for being a racist and ruined his career.
You gotta keep him grounded.
I gotta tell him. Yeah, he said some racist things, and now he got booed at the last WrestleMania, and he's no longer the king.
Been some sexual harassment stuff.
But but I tell her this story, and then she's like, more. I was like, okay. Then I told her about the story when he became king, when he beat the Sheik. And this is the best part, because in reality, the Sheik beat Bob Backlund to win the WWF Championship, right? And I said to her, I go, and the Sheik turned on the former King Backlund, blah, blah, blah. And my 3-year-old goes, what happened to King Backlund? So good. Now, speaking of oranges and apples, by the way,
yes.
I don't know if this is a thing that's been brought up, and you tell me. Someone at one point said, I'm going to name this an apple. Okay. Thank you very much so. What do you think this thing looks like? A banana. Mm-hmm. That's a very interesting word. Thank you so much. And this, an avocado. Mm. Hey, Ronnie, what are you working on? It's fucking orange. Call it orange. What a lazy bastard. And come up and they just call it, it's the one thing, orange.
It's the color of it.
Orange. What are you eating there? A red?
What came first, though? The orange or the color orange?
Right.
Maybe he was more inventive.
Maybe he was more inventive. Maybe that's true. But I was thinking, what a lazy bastard. I mean, look, maybe he had it right. Everyone else, but why don't they call it a yellow?
Yeah.
Confusing?
Or why don't we just call them all, but give me one of the red.
Give me a red. Right. I want 3 yellows, a red and an orange.
Okay.
Wrap it up. Orange. Assholes. Fucking stunk in here this morning.
It wasn't too bad when I showed up, but when you said it, I was for sure. You're like, oh, this place is reeking, and I'm like, oh, you're just dropping bombs.
No, I wasn't farting. I don't know what it was, but it was something. It stunk, and I woke up when I walked in this morning, I dumped the garbage out, so that might have been.
It smelled like bottles of piss. It's the weirdest thing.
I don't know how. Somebody was like, it's the same. Hey, strange theory. The garbage stinks like piss. Why? Because someone was pissing in bottles. It just wasn't a good smell.
When did what was the desperation of the first time you did that? Was that just
I had no fucking time to do anything? Do you understand this?
You're just like, bathroom too far.
Bottle's there, grab it, because every second is a second I need to spend on something else.
Yeah.
Like, do you understand? I was trying to do this schedule. Schmo down this. People don't understand this. The entire schedule for next month's matches. We need to plan them out and get them all set and ready. Otherwise, we're screwed. Been backed up on it for like 3 weeks every single time. I really want to, I'll say this. I'm just going to say this. I won't go into the details because I don't know how much I'm about to. I told you twice over the last 2.5 weeks, I met and sat down with Gary Busey.
Oh, yeah.
It's a true story.
So 2 times now.
Twice. The only part of the story that I'm going to share, because I don't know how much I'm allowed to share, the only part is I was in the middle of a meeting, having a conversation, my phone goes off. The ringer was on. Do you need to get that? I said, nah, it's all right. He goes, you should pick that up. That could be Santa Claus. And I was like, this is exactly why I came to this meeting. This is exactly why I'm here.
Dream meeting.
He was. I can't go into too much detail yet, but when I'm allowed to, I will. But I can't.
It's killing me.
I know I can't go into. Well, you will tell when the cameras are off. But I just people so they know. They wait, what? But I couldn't say anything. But it was
Might be Santa.
You should pick that up. That could be Santa Claus. And I was like, that's something I would say as him.
Yeah.
You know, like that I can do. I can talk about like what I will say is he's got a book out. And he's got a book, and it's got Buseyisms. So like it says, "Aunt, another nightmare told." The aunt, right? Which is what he comes down. He's got all these things in his.
So he's self-aware of the isms are. Is he self-aware that they are kind of goofy, or do you think it's just he's just that goofy? I mean, that's the thing. Is it?
Let's talk about oranges. I had a pleasure meeting with him both times. I'll say that, but longer conversations for down the road that I will share when it's time. But yeah, you should pick that up. That could be Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
Best. I was I got another one for you that I gotta tell you later, but it's brilliant. So it's a good week overall. Oh, watch the new movie on Netflix. Did you see it? It's really good. It's what the hell is it? It's actually, speaking of Gary Busey, it's called Point Break. Yeah, it was really good. And watch that. It takes us about 2 and 3 days to watch this movie because that's how long it takes us to watch it. But I was watching it, and have you heard of this film?
Yeah, I heard about it. I caught it late in the game.
You heard late in the game?
Yeah. No, I did.
For real?
I reviewed it on.
That was the first time you ever saw it?
No. Yeah.
That was the first time you ever saw that movie?
That's
crazy to me.
Left my.
Which is nuts because that, like, you watched a lot of movies in, like, the 90s.
Yeah.
And 2000s. I'm surprised you missed that. You know that movie's 30 years old?
Yeah.
Crazy, dude.
And I don't know if it held up for me. I don't know.
Man, it held up. I'm watching it. It's such a good movie.
I mean, if I would have seen it then, I probably would have more.
Really?
Yeah, it was just.
I don't know. I watched it again recently. I watched it last night.
Yeah,
it's Busey's so good in that movie. He's so good in that movie. He's like, hey, Utah, give me 2 meatballs. So great. What does he say? He says like, I was fighting in Saigon while you were crapping in your hands and rubbing it in your face. So good. It's amazing. It's an amazing film. So we were watching that.
Check it out.
It's gonna break records.
Spoiler review coming out.
Spoiler review. Tom Sizemore in that film. He plays an undercover agent at one point. He's only in it for like a scene, but they kick in. They think that the ex-presidents, the bank robbers, are these crazy lunatics that they fight on the beach, and they're kind of staking out the house, and they break in, and Sizemore's this cop that's been there forever, 3 months or something undercover, and he screwed up. He's just 3 months. 3 months! He's like screaming at him. You guys come in here, and then Keanu's like, oh shit. It's really good stuff. Trying to think what else was going on there's something. Is there anything else? And then my wife. You guys watching The Bachelor again? Bachelorette?
We didn't start that one. But I think we want to give it.
And don't ask me anymore. I'm when my wife and I first started dating. You watch anything that the person you're dating watches, and you invest as if you're watching whatever it is. Like this is great. And then I eventually started working there. So then but now it's like she turns it on, and I'll come in, I go, who's this asshole?
Yeah.
And then I walk. There was a guy. Oh, and this is what I wanted to bring up to you. The only reason I bring up The Bachelor, there was a guy, and I don't know if he was like a key grip or a best boy or a logger. I don't know what he was, but his name is Chance McGee. That's like something you would say, oh, you're hanging out with old Mr. What's his name? Chance McGee over there. It's like the guy's name is Chance McGee, and I was like, that's awesome. It's like, oh yeah, go hang out with the Chance McGee or whatever his name is.
McGee, that's
McGee.
kind of a name that thought that people would have gotten old McGee.
Yeah, right. Old McGee, Stinky McGee.
Yeah.
Old drunky McGee over there. You hanging out with McGee, huh? Yeah, old orange McGee. Old McGee.
Old piss bottle McGee.
Pissy McGee.
Old pissy McGee
Oh,
over
Pissy
here.
McGee over there.
Throwing piss in his bottle.
And wondering why he's so stink up the joint McGee. McGee. Poor guy.
You know what really chaps my ass lately? These motherfuckers that are getting free shit for getting their vaccines. I want Shake
right?
Shack. I did it on my own accord.
They should do retroactive, huh?
Yeah. I mean, come on.
I know, but it's like, well, that's why I talked to somebody recently who wasn't getting it. I won't call this person out, but they're like, "Nah, I'm gonna do it now." They're opening like a $1.5 million lottery or something here.
Yeah.
Which was so funny because everybody was giving the guy shit in Ohio for doing it, right? But then everybody's doing it because it's like it worked in Ohio.
Who was it that was doing it? Was it de Blasio or something like that was eating the Shake Shack or something?
I don't remember.
It was,
I didn't even know about the Shake
was
Shack.
so,
What is
like,
it? Free Shake Shack? Is that what it
yeah,
is?
it was so uncomfortable too. It was just like
A Paris Hilton commercial?
I can taste the vaccine
Oh,
delicious.
God.
Not like something. It's like, don't you want the eating of it? Watch the video. There's something.
I don't want to.
Is that a real person, de Blasio?
No, I think but I think it's New York.
Yeah,
From
New
the time in
York. Yeah.
I thought you were talking about L.A.
He's-
Yeah, L.A.
he's
is
the-
Newsom.
Is he a mayor? Is he a governor?
He works.
He works in New York for the city.
He works mayor. It's Mayor de Blasio.
Yeah, well, look it up. It's a weird video of him like pushing Shake Shack on to get your vaccine.
Yeah.
But if that's the thing that pushes, like, if you're so like, I'm not gonna get it because it's gotta go on, everybody's Shake Shack.
Think about homeless people.
Yeah.
If they know that they can get it, because if you're out of your luck and you're not, and you're just you're like, why am I getting this?
Yeah.
I'm not, because they're at risk. They're at heavy risk, and especially in LA, how big of an issue it is. And if you're down in your luck and you're like, fuck this, I just want to go hang out at the beach. I'll do this and this. You gotta go into CVS and get a shot. Fuck you, right? But but you get a free meal out of it. All right,
That works.
So maybe it works. Maybe that's the reason why. But other reasons too is teenagers, man. Teenagers. A lot of teenagers who maybe are not looking to get it, and I don't know. Did you see? By the way, I didn't send this to you. I should have sent this to you. This was a hysterical picture. This married couple, and guy is fishing in the back, and the guy's holding the wife, and he's leaning down. And he goes, "The best day of my life." On the bottom it says, "That's me in the back." The guy fishing by himself. It's really good. I sent it to married people. Like, yep, I got it. I understand. For sure, I did it. I had a doctor's appointment yesterday, the physical.
Ooh.
So I go to the physical.
Finging the big.
No fingy in the bingy yesterday. But I, when I was there, they're making you fill out the questionnaire and everything, and at one point it's like, what contraceptives are you using? All that, and I write, married for 12 years. Does Netflix count? Doctor loved it. She was like, I was laughing on that one. I was like, yeah. It's the truth.
Oh, I hate paperwork. I hate filling out paperwork and the same old. It's like,
pushing the buttons now.
Come on.
Yeah. I do like that. I did like it. This new office is the old one that I used to go was like 45 minutes from my house. This thing is it took me a 3-minute drive and good parking. So important.
people don't realize the
No.
significance of good parking.
It's incredible.
All you people in the Midwest with you.
Park wherever you want.
Yeah.
You just park. You just
Park on this. Park. Some people park in
in the middle of the
yards.
street. Park in the middle of the street. Just get out because
Yeah.
nobody else is driving on the street. Just get out and then come back an hour later. And the
My
car's
mom
fine.
had somebody park in front of her. Some guy parked in front of my house.
Right.
You know, it's like,
It's a guy on the couch right now. He's just hanging out on the couch. Just going back in the car in a second. They'll be all right.
park around the corner.
Right. It's like, yeah. So parking is it's especially in these cities. It's New York and L.A. Ugh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
My sister just went back to Brooklyn. She was been living in New Orleans, just went back to
Oh,
Brooklyn.
because it's because it's
Yeah.
getting better.
Yeah, and she showed me this, like, it was pretty nice apartment complex on paper.
Yeah.
And then she's showing me pictures. The laundry room apparently would get a little, like, fogged up. So they drilled holes in the glass of this
So they get the fog out of it? Wow.
So it's like,
yeah.
should we use a drill that's good for glass? Nah, just use whatever rusty.
Use an ice pick and then nail it with a mallet.
Just shoot it out with a gun.
Yeah. Just, shoot. Hey, Louie, let's just start shooting the walls and see what we get. Louie.
Please don't use the roof for toilet dog was one of the signs. And I said, we'll just change it to DAWG and then it sounds cool. Hey, please don't use a ceiling for a toilet dog.
Works. Oh, man. We're getting close, though, dude. We're getting close. It's like, even look at your mug.
Yeah, it's and I'm starting to feel I'm easing. It was a little weird at first, but I'm easing into it. I said to the wife, I'm like, maybe we should go on a date. Let's go do a date.
Yeah, did you? Yeah, we did it.
We haven't yet, and we have to the point where we could walk down the street to a couple places, and the kids would be within 5 minutes of a.
Is that that's the nervousness? You want to make sure that.
No, I don't think so.
I think still getting ready, getting used to it.
Just getting used to going, and then like if it's outdoors, and I want it to be a nice experience and not
go to this place that I went to. I took my wife to the Toscana in Century City.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It's outside. They have an outside area. It's really it's not, and the food's good. The wine was really good, and it's pretty chill. And so what? 10 minutes, 15, whatever it was. Yeah. So
we need one. We need a date.
Do it.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it helped. Mm-hmm. It helped for us for sure because we hadn't been out for so long to do something like that. Still.
Do you have that issue where you get out and you're like, all right, we're gonna have a discussion, and then you have to keep telling yourself, stop talking about the kids, like stay on target of something.
I think we were so. I mean, there were other things we needed to talk about that weren't involving the kids because the problem is every time we try to do that in the house, the fucking kids get involved, and it's just like, have my iPad code, and then the little one comes up, funny octopus, and it's like, and you're like, for 2 seconds, my wife's like, 2 seconds, and so it's funny because my wife will never to them, but always like to me when she knows that I'm in earshot of it, she's like, leave me the fuck alone. To them, it's always like, yes, honey, what do you need? If they only knew. It's just like, just go. Because it's, I don't know how it is with your kids when they were this age, the nine. Well, your youngest is close to them. But they need us to play. And it's like, well, play with us, do this, that. It's like, look, I love playing with you. I love doing that. It's fun. But sometimes, I used to play make-believe with my brothers and go into the room and just disappear for like an hour, for God's sakes.
Fuck off. You play with me? Fuck off. Play with yourself. What do I buy you all those toys for?
It's like, really? You know what you can do? You can play with the fucking $2,000 worth of Legos.
Yeah.
How about that? Or color in something. How about that? You want to do that?
Well, you talked about the stories being directed. That was always the thing with playing with my daughter was that, like, I'd be like, I'm going to go to the castle and see the... No, she's not going to the castle.
Right.
I'm like...
It's like me doing improv.
So I'm going to go into the store. She's not going to the store. And that's a boy. Okay,
yeah.
Why don't you just play by yourself?
That's exactly the story. Like there once was a cucumber. No, it was an avocado. Fine, all right. And his name was Louis. No, it was Numblomp. Oh, Numblomp. Far as Numblomp. And so Numblomp had 3 friends. 6. Oh, he had 6 friends, and they went to the beach. Forest. Yeah. So I'm telling you, it was. You wonder where I get my improv skills from. And speaking of which, I gotta find this. I can't even find it anymore. I can't even see anymore. That's the other problem. The eyes are they're shot. How about you?
I think I have to get to the point where I've got the. I was doing this something. I wish we could put up the picture, but I had my shades on in the car.
Yeah.
And then I had these like this so that I could look at the navigation device.
Yeah. Go ahead. Tell us what.
So it was like shades here.
Make a left on Turin.
Oh, okay. No, that's okay. Why isn't my Waze telling me where to make the left? In 300 feet, make a left. On what street? I can't see the street.
Make right.
Yeah. Is that a setting?
Here, we'll do. We'll put Charles's music. So this time you're driving through the street. Make left on Oakwood.
And how many feet?
Right turn.
What's that saying?
Come to the stop sign.
Bullshit! Oh, okay.
Wave to the old lady on the right.
Sorry. I got the glasses on the glasses.
Your glasses are on your face.
All right. This does not seem like I'm going to the
Keep
right place
going
right
straight.
now. Did I
Turn
get the
around.
right- Okay.
Make a left. Make 3
You're
U-turns.
seriously making me make a left on this street?
Make 3 U-turns. Your location will be on the right. Now it's on the left.
Another U-turn?
Forward. Keep driving.
No.
There's someone on the street.
All right, screw it. I'm
They
taking
want
it
your
over.
wallet. And now you know, now you know. And Brett was driving on the street. He got out and he ran with his feet. No, they weren't his feet. He was on a skateboard. And I don't know why. He's the Lord. That's right. He's the Lord of who? I don't know. Is it blasphemous? That's the theme of this show.
Blasphemy.
Blasphemous, baby. Oh.
Yeah,
Who's that Santa Claus? Well, come on. What are you doing?
Hey,
what did that microphone do to you?
Microphone. No, it's something where I think I need some sort of. I hate these things.
Glasses?
Yeah, I don't get. I feel for
You look
everybody.
at them. You're looking at them with disgust. But you know that you need them.
Well, and it's the thing now. It's like I don't need them like looking around at you.
Right.
I don't need
It's
them
reading
driving, and it's like I do need them to even tell what station I am on the radio.
Dude, I carry these things. We've just lost every 20-year-old that listens to this show. I carry these things here. I carry them on my head because it starts to hurt my head. And all these, look, you little fucks, you young pricks. Right now, you're like, oh, just wait, because I didn't think that all my eyes would be great forever. It's garbage.
45. And it was my first ever eye appointment.
Yeah, same.
And they're like, all right, put your head in the machine. I'm like. They're like, no, put your head closer. You've got to lean your.
Right.
I'm like, I've never done this before.
Ever. They do the thing with the drops where you can't see. You have to wear the sunglasses.
And when they blast, whoa!
Like a vampire. You
Warn
walk out.
somebody about blasting air in their face.
Well, they give you these drips, and they're like, well, you probably won't be able to be in the daylight for another 6 months.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh. And you're like Lestat from with a vampire.
Should I have had somebody drive me here? Is this like...
Good luck to you. Use your GPS.
Yeah.
Make right on Orange Street. Hey, I named that.
The corner of apple and orange.
Apple and orange. What else? What do you been? Have you? Did your mother like this show?
Not
so much.
She likes everything.
Everything.
Everything I do. No, I think she probably likes this one. I would say probably more because I
get to talk more.
Yeah, we get to talk a little bit more, and it's pre-recorded, so I think she really wants to catch the live stuff. And I'm like, but you don't need to. This one, there's no reason that you have to catch the live, so you can plan your day around. Right. She plans her day around.
Did you subscribe to the podcast feed?
I hope so. I told her. I said, you got to get on there.
I'm telling you right now, all you people, right now, if you're listening to this, you're watching this. If you're watching this right now and you have not subscribed to the podcast feed and you like this show, you're hurting us. Mm-hmm. Like, you got to subscribe to the podcast feed, whether it's Spotify, Google Podcasts, by the way, Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to that feed, download the episodes, because that is how we are going to continue on. Because this show is going to live every Thursday, depending on how long it goes. You know, if it's an hour and a half, then it's an hour and a half. If it's an hour, it's an hour, and it leads into SEN Live. The Big Thing podcast will be the show that, again, will air Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Will be either 9 to 10 or 10 to 11, or depending on how long. Same thing. If I'm with Steph and Mark and we're talking about a whole bunch of fun things tomorrow, the premise of that show, by the way, for people who don't know The Big Thing, is that it's a guarantee that we're going to cover at least one big topic. You can guarantee, and it'll be for like at least 10, 15 minutes that you're like, oh, I want to hear them talk about the latest movie review or this or that. Guarantee you're going to get it. I don't know what else we're going to talk about, but in that show, it's a guarantee. We're going to lead with those topics. So for those people who've been missing the overall, like, diving into movie news, movie reviews, all that. It'll be there. So please go and subscribe to that show. That feed is going to turn from the SEN Live podcast feed into the Big Thing podcast. So that way it's a little bit more, it's hard to listen on podcasts when you have the constant like Schmobot coming in. And that's why the Schmobots will serve for that SEN Live, which will stay, and then people will be able to contribute and talk and listen to the interactive, the impressions, all that stuff. It'll still be there. But the last thing that I will ask is that we have the Schmodown Clips channel. Go and subscribe to that today, because I'm aiming for like August for this show, The Big Thing, SEN Live, IG, Sith. That's all going to move from this channel onto that channel. So subscribe to that today. We'll keep telling you, there'll be ads to let you know that we're doing that, to remind you like I'm aiming for like August 2nd, but after that these shows will not exist there anymore. So you can only get it on podcast feed or on that channel, which is a risk, but I think we need to make some moves.
You gotta redirect. You gotta
make some moves.
Yeah.
Make some moves.
Listen, I totally know what's going on.
You knew it all. You knew it all. You suggested all of this.
Yeah,
stuff.
I was like, come on, Kristian. You
like,
gotta do this.
Change up the channel.
Change it up a little bit. You've been doing the same thing. It's not working. Come on.
Stale. Just stale. No, it's the content of the
But you mentioned earlier, I think that but the Big Thing show is pre-recorded.
Yes.
And that because I think it sounded like earlier you said it was you're shooting it tomorrow, but it's not live tomorrow.
No, it doesn't air until Friday. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Sorry. Thank you for reading. We are recording an episode with myself and Brett. Myself, Ellis, and Steph that will air on Friday. That will be the first airing of the Big Thing show, and then we're hoping to gradually put 2 Big Thing episodes on next week with one Goofball, and start with that, and then eventually we'll get to 4 episodes of Big Thing, 1 episode of Goofball, 4 episodes of SEN Live, or 5 episodes of SEN Live, but just to do. But again, making sure that for people, I liked interacting. It's not going anywhere. You'll still be able to do that, but the Schmodown Clips channel, please go and subscribe to that today. We're at almost 6,000 right now. We'd love to get to 10,000 to show like, okay, we're going to be
easy.
Yeah. We're going to be looking. We're going to be doing some stuff.
Just click it and like it, and
that's it.
Flip it.
Flip it around, smack it up.
Yep.
We go smacking the ball bag. Is what
the old Clicky McGee.
Yeah, see? You see what I mean? How easy that is? The Clicky McGee, Chance McGee. Thought of Chance Ellison right away. I'm going to call him Chance McGee. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. He's got his big match, a collision. The team's titles. It's Chance McGee.
Good old Chancey McGee.
Chancey McGee. Oh, man. I wanted to ask you something that I totally forgot about. I wrote it down, but I said, well, I got to ask Brett about this.
I wrote something down.
What did you write down? Because I had something that I was going to talk to you about. I can't remember what the hell it is. Oh, yeah, the Hogan stories. I told you that about it.
Was it Mare of Easttown?
Oh, Mare of Easttown. Yeah. So you guys started, how many episodes are you?
We got 2 last night. It was one of these, well, should we start this? And I've heard so many good things about it. And I like it. It's not necessarily my type of show, but that second episode hooked me.
Yeah, there's only 7.
Yeah, it was because it was the first one was a lot of exposition.
Who do you think did it so far? I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to say anything.
Oh, I think
from where you are in 2 episodes.
It's a red herring, I think, of who they. Her
so we'll do.
ex-husband.
So okay. So for people at this point, the show's been out. I'm not going to spoil it for Brett because he's watched it, but like. So you think it's the ex-husband, or who do you think it is?
Setting it up to be the ex-husband, but I don't think it's the ex-husband.
You got any guesses right now?
Right now,
if you're going to Vegas and you had to bet on somebody, who would you bet on?
Oh God, now I've got to remember.
You got to bet.
Say some people that are
I can't
in the
do
show.
that. I can't do that. I can't do that because if I do that, then it could potentially give it away. I don't want to do that. Because
it's too.
You have your kids' college funds. You got to put on.
And I also suspect her dad.
You think who?
The girl that was killed.
You think it could be her dad?
Yeah, because that one seems he
seems a little off.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was some little scene with him where. And not
in the beginning,
and he's a shithead. But again, that could be a red herring too, because it's clearly like
that's why I like the show. It keeps you on its toes.
Yeah,
and I keep comparing it to the show I really liked was that up until the end was the Nicole Kidman, Hugh Grant show that was on. It was the one that was on What the hell was that show
I don't think I
called?
saw it.
It was on. We talked about it a lot on SEN. And it was Kate's friend was in it, and I can't. What the hell was the name of that show? I can't remember. But either way, the ending to me was a bust, and I kind of bailed because of it.
Could they have named her something else so it didn't sound like Mare of Easttown? Could they have just like were they?
My name's I think her real name's like Mary or something.
But it's just like every time
Mary,
I hear
is
it,
that
I
what it's
hear
I don't remember.
Mare of Easttown. That's all I ever hear. And then people, I'm sure, are Googling the wrong show because they're like, hey, you see Mare of Easttown?
Who's the mayor?
Yeah.
It's Bellagio.
It's Bellagio.
He says, the snack shack. So whole episode 3 is about, a guy goes, he gets the vaccine, shits his pants right after the big burger. It's a great episode, very humorous, although it's not supposed to be humorous, of course. The guy, they give him the double burger, and he shits himself. And it's supposed to be sad. They got the sad music. It's like it's almost like a Danny Elfman type thing that going on, kind of kooky, and he walks to the bathroom and he does his thing, but it's supposed to be this terrible thing, but it's really not. It's humorous.
It's humor.
It's humorous. How do you? Yeah.
What do you think of that show? That was humorous.
It's humorous. It makes me giggle. Oh man. Anyway, I got a lot of shit going on over the next couple of weeks, but I'm going. I told you I'm going on my first vacation.
That's good. Yeah.
I need it.
Is it gonna? Do you get to when you go? Like, will people leave you alone, or do you get a lot of calls about Schmodown and stuff like that? I mean, is it one of these things where you're being told like, Kristian, get off the phone? I tried
to. My wife does that to me every day.
Yeah.
But I tried to take a vacation last year, probably at the wrong time. I tried to take a week off early before we shut down. I was like, you know what? We're in December.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it. We shot all the matches we needed to shoot. I'm gonna take it off. It took every day I worked, every single day. So, but there's no chance I'll be able to get away with that here because we're doing like a trip. So, we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. I'm probably gonna have to hand over the phone. I think that for my own well-being, I'll probably have to, for myself. I'm like just give the phone to my wife and just take this.
That's the tough. I mean, well, again, different situation than most are in. But I think the fact that you can contact people all the time is something like, I think about it, I'm like, I'll get a text from somebody about a work thing on a Sunday night at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
You wouldn't fucking call your coworker at 9 p.m. on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, there's these boundaries where the weekend doesn't exist anymore.
It's true. I'll get phone calls, and I'll even find myself sometimes texting, be like, hey, if you're going to do this, and I'm like, holy shit, it's 10:30 on, and it's late, and that wasn't like the way that it used to go at all, and just I don't know, technology and all of it. It's like a 9 a.m. to like 5 p.m. That's kind of maybe your contact, maybe a little later with some of the stuff we do, but past 9 p.m. I shouldn't be getting any texts, especially on a Sunday or a Saturday. Yeah.
That's think about it.
Yeah, are your kids ready to bust through? They're already back to school though, right?
Yeah.
They're over it? They're done?
Blake has this big, apparently we, award kids for just mundane things like, you're graduating 8th grade now. And we had to buy Lays for them, and like it's this big thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But I get it. It's nice after all of this, but it is like, really, we're gonna do a graduation for 8th grade? But that's happening Wednesday.
I feel like 8th grade was a big thing for me. Was it not for you?
I don't think we did anything. They didn't care.
They didn't give a shit.
Yeah, we didn't have kindergarten.
Kindergarten graduate. Well, I mean. Yeah, that's a little different. I don't remember having anybody giving a shit about that. I do remember 8th grade, though, being a thing. I think that the school that I went to, though, did you go 1st through 5th and then 5th through 8th, or 6th through 8th, or did you go 1st through 8th?
It was 1st through 6th.
Yeah, a lot of people. That's most schools.
Yeah, we didn't have the middle school. It was junior high and senior high.
That's most schools. I was in the same school, St. Robert's of Bellarmine, and that is where I learned nothing about education, and I learned how to rifle a fart off of a wood chair in a Catholic school, St. Robert's, and it was where I learned and crafted, and I became that is where I studied my craft of comedy. I'm supposed to be learning at St. Robert's Bellarmine, which is no longer there, I don't think anymore. But but I was 1st through 8th grade.
Yeah.
And like you speak,
rough.
What's crazy? It is and it isn't, because it's like I think that for me it was because like I said before, I never really felt like I fit in all the way, you know, and it was just I relied on the humor anyway. But for other people who had their pals and everything for like a long time, and I had some very good friends there, like that I still to this day keep up with. But for the most part, people that were like going, you know, there's no adjustment.
Yeah.
1st or 8th grade, there's no adjustment. It's the new fuckers that came in that always had to figure it out, you know, like, hey, you're here for the 8th grade. All these New York little assholes have been together for all this time. Good luck to you.
Yeah, have fun.
Have fun.
The boys, my son and his best friend were talking about, like, wonder if we're going to get hazed when we go. I'm like, they don't do this, like, dazed and confused paddle shit anymore, do they?
So.
Like,
so they're watching shows?
I never got hazed or anything. Well, I think it's something they do to scare them. I'm sure somebody's spreading some rumors.
Maybe they're bringing it back from watching Dazed and Confused. That's what happens. They rediscover something. Like, hey, we should do that, Johnny.
We should beat up kids.
let's. You're 37.
Yeah.
You can go to school. You didn't work. That's my point.
That's my point.
Nothing else to do.
Go beat some kids
Come on, get them tough. Get them tough. What's with that accent? You're from Philadelphia.
Yeah. Gotta get them tough.
Gotta get them tough. I'm watching TV, man. Hey. Gotta come on up. I'll say, what you doing here? And he says, I'm just trying to go to school. You whack that fucker right now.
Yeah, you fucking whack him.
Make
him feel welcome. Beat the shit out of him.
He said, look, if I wouldn't like you, I just would have pulled your hair and, like, you know, hit you in the willy or something. But instead, you know, I hit you in the ass with a paddle. That makes me feel good, makes you feel good, and hell, let's get some Steak Shack.
Let's do it.
Shake Shack, whatever it's called. Free vaccine for everybody.
And then they became best friends.
That's right. And then they were fucking.
Yeah.
But they were of age at that point.
Yes. No, we weren't talking.
No.
Don't get us canceled. These were not first graders, guys.
I always wonder what clip it is I'm going to put on the Instagram. And it's just like, I don't know. We'll put this one.
Yeah. What is that? You watched Eastbound and Down, right?
Not as much. I like Danny McBride, but I got to take him in. I got to take him in doses.
Yeah, I saw the first season. I liked it, but there's a scene with him, and I can't think of the guy's name. But he's like, let's do this. Yeah, let's fuck, man. Yeah, we'll fuck the kids. We're not gonna fuck the kids. We're not gonna fuck the kids. I'm just saying.
Right. Just fucking, yeah. It's so funny, yeah. All that, but I was going through this. I can't get this time jumping shit out of my head.
That's all you think about.
That's it. I've been thinking about, like, I've even named it myself. Line jumping.
Oh.
Timeline jumping, and it's like imagine if time works the way you think that it does, and if I wanted to, and I had this ability, which I don't. I'm a fucking idiot, and I don't know how to do it. I'm not an alien, Brett. I don't know if you know this.
I thought you were going to tell me you had the ability. And
I do have the ability. I actually just lived 3 lifetimes, and then I came back to talk to you about it.
I had a few timelines I needed wrapped up. And,
you didn't even know. That's the point. That's what I was thinking, how fucking crazy it is if you think about the way time works. It's like, if I had the ability to do it, that I could just go like this, live in another lifetime for 100 years, then jump back. You wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know. The consciousness just jumps in and out. And I'm not stoned. I haven't smoked at all today. Not a one. Nothing. But I was just like, I'm fascinated by this. Is it some sci-fi shit that is most likely 100% not possible? Yeah, of course. Yeah. But what? What if? What if there is an ability to be able to, in a different timeline that you wouldn't know?
Yeah.
People are like, you can't fly in different timelines. How the hell do you know that? Time doesn't work the same.
Yeah,
I've been thinking about it every day.
But then the not knowing, and then that just that makes it less fun for me. If I could find out about it, but also I'd hate to be like you know, you die, and then they're like, hey, we're gonna show you your timelines that we've had, and you're just what if it was fuck up in all of them.
But so be it. But it's infinite. It's almost like a video game at that point, right? Yeah. So if that's what I was thinking. Imagine if you were able to. Once you're, it's over. Once you've lived whatever life it was. Let's say you crap out when you're like 75 years old. Then the ability you have this whole timeline that you've had, this 75 years of timelines that you can now play with as like a video game. So if you wanted to, at 30 you you transfer your consciousness at 30 years old, and you can live from a moment that happened when you're 30 years old. You're on stage. You said, shit, if I would have said that, I would. Who knows?
Yeah.
And you live that out and you play it out. If inside that timeline you said, oh fuck it, I don't have my kids.
Oh,
I don't have the kids anymore. Well, guess what? Jump back into the other fucking timeline, live there for a little bit, and then jump back in.
Yeah.
Like fucking VR. Is it trippy? Of course it is. But it's fun to think about. And I was just like, this is why I think I like Loki as much as I do. See, we tie it all back.
Yeah, it all comes back to Loki.
It all comes back to Loki because they do this kind of shit in Loki in the way that it's like the most. You're talking about Mare of Easttown right there. Yeah. This is like Marvel's investigating. It's a detective show, and it's the way that they're doing it so far. So it's interesting.
This reminds me of you probably saw that Office episode where Dwight was playing like a Second Life kind of a show, and he's like, "So wait, in your second life, your name is Dwight Schrute, and you're a paper salesman?"
Right.
He goes, "Yeah, but I can fly." You know?
Right, right.
Like,
it's exactly right.
Kept everything the same.
Everything the same. But if time is infinite and things like people don't understand, like when you say like. Every possible choice that you made creates different timelines, infinite timelines. I love the idea and the thought of it. Yeah. I love it. It's just... Does it scare the shit out of you?
It does, but it also, like, then if you're telling me then I can't ever realize them, then the thinking about it is... Yeah, I mean, I'd like to.
I don't know. Who the hell knows?
Maybe I'd like to see one.
Well, because who knows? Like maybe there's a timeline where people do remember all this other shit.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. Or guess what? You just die.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's over. That's a lot of people. I saw a couple people when we talked about this. Sorry to break it to you guys, but once you're dead, you're fucking dead.
Yeah, I know.
That's it. It's over. I've been dead. Wait, but how do you? Then you're not dead. Yeah, well, I came back.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, for that time, I don't remember anything. Just pop back up and say, well, let's do it. But yeah,
you could be that there are people that are that confident that there's nothing else, but you can't shit on people that think there is something if you're that confident there is nothing.
Well, it's the same. That's the same reason why, like, I will never say who's right or wrong about whatever religion that they believe in.
Exactly.
I don't know. Like, I can tell you what I believe. I think the more and more as I get older, I believe more in science and in as I've been talking about the cosmics and consciousness and all that. That's where my brain goes. I don't know what I'll be like at 60 or 70. Maybe I'll find a different something, but I can't tell somebody, well, I've studied enough and I feel enough that to me, what speaks to me is Jesus Christ, God. I believe in all. You 100% could absolutely be right.
Yes.
What do I know about it? All I know is what I feel at the moment, and you can never tell anybody that they're wrong. You just can't. Not about that stuff.
No.
Not about that stuff, because there's no proof.
And I think that's but that's the thing that people need to. It's unfortunate that we can't just go, hey, if that's what you believe, that's fine. If that's what you believe, that's fine. If that
wars wouldn't be started if that was the case.
Well, I mean, come on.
Yeah,
what kind of a stupid ass world would it be if everybody got along?
I know.
What a load
of shit. Adam and Eve fucked it up.
Yeah.
See? There you go. I know a little bit of history.
Yeah.
Well, actually, technically, is it history if you don't have footage?
Yeah.
That's the other thing I'd like to do. I would love to go back, even if you couldn't necessarily your consciousness live or something too. Wouldn't it be fun if you were able to jump back into time? Then we could see you, but you could record shit.
Yeah. Just get a couple clip outs.
Do you understand? Like, that would cause some damage. You come back and it's just like, you remember that Kennedy thing? I got proof. Right? It's like all like that kind of shit. I think about this is the kind of shit that I think about when you're locked in quarantine for a year. You think about like line jumping. This is where my life has gone. It's fascinating to me. Like, imagine just being in the shitter. You're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go back to when I was 15. I'm going to punch that kid in the mouth.
Yeah.
Instead of him punching me in the mouth, I'm going to punch him in the mouth, and then I'm going to see how that turns out. And then I'm going to live that life for a little bit. And then when I'm 40 in that timeline, if I don't like where it's going, I'm going to go back to when I was taking a shit. And then I'm going to go do the Goofball Show. Talk about it. It's like people at this point would be like, how many pieces of weed did you eat?
Yeah.
Not one. This is the one show I didn't eat anything. Not anything. It probably should.
Yeah.
Hey, it's we were listening to the show and the line jumping thing.
We need to
gonna nip that in the bud. Why? Well, we got a call from the FBI.
Yeah, I'm not liking the line jumping.
Well, it's because the UFOs have got me thinking too.
I haven't delved into that one yet. I know Roxy was obsessed with she needed to know the information. And did Obama say something?
We talked about that last week. I don't know. I looked at what he didn't seem to arm ourselves against the aliens. Didn't say that. But what I started Googling after, there was a report because it was on.
He didn't tell me last week. It was a different timeline.
It was a different timeline.
That's how I'm gonna.
It's just different timeline.
When I tell a story I've already told.
But that would be the fucked up thing if you're jumping into timelines. Is what was? Oh shit! Did I tell that to Brett in AB6 or did I tell that to Brett last week?
Z30.
When was that? Hey, remember that orange joke? No, tell me the orange joke.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Maybe that was the other alternative. That would be the problem. You couldn't jump back and forth. You'd have to wait years. Yeah. You'd have to wait years. Just like, because then if you what the other fucked up thing is, let's say you're a happy married guy, you go back in a different timeline, you get married to somebody else, and then you jump back into this one and you run into the one you got married.
Yeah.
To. You're like, oh shit. Right. There's thoughts people have. It's a crazy. I'm telling you. I don't know. I think I might be going to say.
There it is. There it is. Is it bad that I haven't slept in a week? Is that bad because I've been thinking about line jumping?
Brett, I was like Dorothy in the fucking Oz in the office in my underwear, clicking my heels, going, line jump, line jump.
You're sitting in the closet like about time or whatever. Just like
That's what it was. Oh my God. But that's it. That's where I've gone to fucking Looney Town with old Chance McGee.
Oh, Chance McGee.
me and a different timeline. Me and Chance McGee are good buddies.
I'd like to introduce you to who's going to help you jump some timelines here. Chance McGee. Really? He was the key.
They call him old line jumping McGee.
Not Chance? No, you throw any name on there.
Because by chance you might figure out how to do it. Yeah. Oh, good old line jumping McGee. I got a tweet from Chance McGee. Keep my name out of your mouth.
Hey. Talking about shit about me.
Don't do it. You know what? You know what I realized when we hear about this, Brett? You know shit. You know shit?
No, what are you doing?
You don't know shit. You think you know shit, but when you think about it, in reality,
no,
you know shit.
No, maybe if you line jumped, maybe in another reality, you know shit. Not this one.
Not this one. You can go to a place and you can line jump there, and when you get there, you come back and you go, guess what? I know it, and then it would tell you. You know, shit.
Yeah, and he's like, what if I thought I did? No, you did in that timeline, not in this timeline. Right. In this timeline, you're full of shit, and you don't know shit.
That's right. You go back to another timeline, and you're like, oh, look at this. I'm fit. Yeah, but you come back here, you know shit.
I wish I was fit. I wish I knew. Two things I want. I want to be fit. I want to know shit. But I ain't fit, and I don't know shit.
That's right. And back in this other timeline that I knew, my best friend was a guy named Adam Witt. But in reality... You know shit. How long have we been doing this show? I feel like it's been a little bit.
Yeah, you confused me there. You're clicking on something like you're going to play some music or something?
No, I'm about to. But this is a fun one today. We're into a lot of different things. So once again, guys, we're probably going to call it a day. What I will tell you is this. Please, 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 go line jump. Go back into...
if you can line jump and subscribe... In all the timelines, that would be good. Download them in every timeline.
Right. Do me a favor. First of all, I want you to go back to 2019. Stop me and say it's just a fucking theme park. All right, don't worry about it. But then I want you to say just quit this show and do the Goofball Show with Brett. You'll never be happier. Thank you. This is the show. This is a lot of fun. I'm excited. But please subscribe to this podcast feed. I have said it a few times over. This is the 3rd episode. You have to subscribe to that podcast feed. Even if you watch this today on YouTube, please head on over to the podcast feed, whether it's Google Podcasts or Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Subscribe and download the episodes. I will also go to the YouTube channel. I will respond to all your comments. It's been a lot of fun interacting with you guys. Thank you for the positivity. And that's about it for Brett Sheridan and me. Peace.